Hello, welcome to my studio. I'm going to share with you my experiment with cold wax and inks. I gave myself a present, so I bought some of these beautiful transparent inks, alcohol inks, that we can use with the cold wax medium, oil-based cold wax medium. I'm going to do some experiments, mix it with the cold wax, sprinkle it on, maybe spray a little bit of alcohol on top to get it more runny. We'll see. I'm using this texture background, the one that I used for my 10 favorite texture tools, so be sure to check out that video as well. And we're going to see what happens if we add alcohol inks to our cold wax medium. If you like my experimentations and my tutorials, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. Okay, let's start with this dark green. Let's see if we mix it with the cold wax, what happens. You see, it keeps its beautiful transparency. And that's why I like to experiment on a textured background, because you see all the beautiful textures shining through here as well. Let's take another one, the blue one. This is Baja Blue. And I know people are worried about the light fastness of these inks, and I can't really say if they're light fast or not, but I'm not going to use them over my whole painting, so I guess it should be okay. I asked some painters that paint with alcohol inks, and they said they don't have, if the ink is of good quality, they don't have any problem with the light fastness. So you can really make a very nice glaze with these transparent inks. They're quite smelly, so if you use the alcohol inks, it's better to open the window, or at least have good ventilation in your studio. Let's see, you can do it thick or thin, just like with the normal cold wax. This was a wet white layer that I put on before, just for the experiment. Let's give nice effects as well. This one, the white, I did with the palette knife, and this I did with the brayer, just to see what different effects you can have on different layers. It's still wet, so it's mixing a bit. And then, of course, we can just sprinkle it on and see what this does. This is on a dry background, and here it's on the wet background. Let's see the difference. And on the wet, It dries very, very fast. Look how beautiful. I want to get rid of this yellow. Dry and wet. What we'll do here, wet. See, it's already dry. So you have the hard lines here, like this one, if you don't spread it. That's the green, well, doesn't matter. Mix it with the whites, you see. Take some whites and go over it. Here it's dry, it doesn't, but when it's wet it's mixing very nicely. The only thing what I remember from the last time, it dries rather flat. That's a bit of a pity, because when it's wet it's beautiful. But still I think it's very, very interesting. I bought one with gold as well, rich gold, which we can throw in as well. Maybe shake first. I've put a little bit of this alcohol in this spray bottle to get it running a bit, see if that works. Have some nice drips. See if it's dry. Maybe we can get it running again. You see. It looks super interesting. But here you can see that it dries quite flat. But you know, as a fun layer, it can be very interesting. And like I said, you don't use it everywhere. I'm not sure if that is a good idea. You can even write with it. Look how beautifully it's mixing with the green. Super interesting. But you will see that it's different if you work on a flat background. That's why I always encourage people to make a few base layers with a bit of texture. Because you can see that it gives a different effect on the textured part than on the flat part. If it's too flat, you can just take something off. Oh, this is going to be a very interesting background. This one is quite thick, the rich gold, so that's why I can write with it. I'm not sure if I can do that with the other ones. They're quite fluid. Oh, you can. Let's see what happens if we mix it with the white paint and the coldwax. If that's different. Oh, it's the green again. I want to have the blue. Oh, no problem. As you see, it becomes just a very opaque color, but nice. A bit of blue with a bit of white and a bit of coldwax. You see, by mixing in the white, the color becomes very opaque. It also shows you that in one session your background can change completely. Not sure if I add another green. This one's a bit more, well, it looks almost the same. Although it says aqua green. As you see, it's a little bit lighter. This looks very, very interesting, and it's almost dry. This is beautiful too. This was over the wet white paint. It's beautiful too. Okay, we're going to let this dry. As always, I say experiment, explore, have fun, and that's the way you discover the techniques you like. I really like this alcohol inks. I'm going to experiment maybe a little bit more, or in the next video only on the white background, because this is shining through beautifully. So subscribe to my channel. I love to see you back in my studio, and bye for now.